Welcome back to another video. I'm Justin Ironberg, and if you like the content that you see, be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment because listen, that's how this channel is going to grow, to be completely honest with you. And if you like the content that you see, be sure to let me know what other content that you want to see. If you don't do so already, be sure to follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and X, because I guarantee you, if you like the content that you see here, you're going to love the content that you see there. But without further ado, let's get into today's video because it's a doozy and it's a fun one. Yes, the 2025 calendar year has already gone half over in a blink of an eye. We're already in June. I can't believe it's here. The start of the summer is here, really, and we're already starting the Stanley Cup final tonight. Yes, game one, Edmonton Oilers host the Florida Panthers. I can't wait for it, but also we have so much going on in June. It's kind of crazy that the NHL's one of the busiest months in the NHL is in June, the start of summer, like I said, and everything seems to happen. We have the NHL Combine going on this week in Buffalo. We have the NHL Draft at the end of the month. We have NHL awards to be handed out during the month of June. We have NHL free agency then on July 1st. There's so much going on, and with that, you know that the rumors are going to heat up. You know that the summer trade bait is going to start. It has already started, and there are so many big names that could be moved this summer that could impact everyone's future for next season. And yes, that's what we're here to talk about. So I've taken the top 30 guys from rumors and insider reports that I've seen over the last week and a half, and I've made the 2025 summer trade board for players right now. That's the top 30, and yes, there could be some players that get off this list before July or before in July. There could be players that get added to this list that aren't currently in rumor mills, or there's some players that come off this list because they actually get out of rumor mills. Like, I don't know, maybe just throwing a name out here, Keandre Miller might come off the board. Who knows what happens with the New York Rangers, but that's just an example. So for right now, we have the top 30 players, and I'm not going to waste your guys' time going through each player for an hour and a half talking about what the good and the bad is. I'm just going to tell you the top 30 players here. And starting out with number 30, we have Andrew Kopp of the Detroit Red Wings. We have Nicholas Hag at 29 for the Vegas Golden Knights. We have Jamie Oleksiak at 28. We have Lucas Reichel at 27 for the Chicago Blackhawks. We have Vladimir Tarasenko for the Detroit Red Wings at 26. We have Pavel Zacha at 25 for the Boston Bruins. Andre Palat at 24. Rasmus Ristolainen at 23 for the Philadelphia Flyers. Elvis Merlinkins at 22, and Ivan Barbashev at 21. That's the first 10 players. I mean, listen, the top player through that list, as I have listed here, is Ivan Barbashev. I will give a little bit about him. I think he's been great since going to Vegas. I just think Vegas might, and what I've seen is they might be trying to make a big move this summer in terms of like whether that be Mitch Marner trying to get him. They tried to trade for him last year. So in order to do so, they're going to need to clear cap space. And that's probably why Ivan Barbashev might become a cap casualty this year, or Nicholas Hag as well. But yeah, that's probably my favorite player from this group of players in the bottom, I guess, 10 of the top 30. But yeah, that's it's going to be interesting for those 10 names this summer because honestly, a lot of these guys are veterans and they're not as good as except for Reichel, like they're not as good as what they once was, and their value is way below what it once was. So it's going to be interesting. We move on to number 20 here through 11. We have 20 as Connor Murphy from the Chicago Blackhawks. We have Ryan McDonagh at 19 from the Tampa Bay Lightning. We have Chris Kreider at 18. We have Dawson Mercer from the New Jersey Devils at 17. We have Justin Falk from the St. Louis Blues. I was actually shocked to see his name in some trade rumors as well. Keandre Miller at 15 for the New York Rangers. I completely forgot the team there for 1 second. John Gibson of the Anaheim Ducks at 14. Morgan Geekie at 13. Morgan Riley at 12. And Erik Karlsson at 11. Yes, I think the top two players in this list are obviously the best two available, but they're also at this point looked at as overpaid defensemen in the NHL that simply just do too much offensively and too little defensively. So I don't know. Like it's not It's not something I think a lot of teams would be interested in, but they're still decent players in the NHL, and I think that they're up there for being really good players. It's just they're overpaid at this point, and I think a lot of teams don't want to take on that contract. It's not the player that they don't want to take on. I think that a lot of teams, like, we'll put it this way, a lot of teams like Erik Karlsson, a lot of teams like Morgan Riley, what they can bring. I just think they don't like the contract that comes along with those players, and that's where you don't really want to trade for the guy. But yes, I have to rank the top 30 players on this list, not the most likely. Like I said, there is a video coming out for most likely to be traded, and if you want to catch that, that's coming out later in the week, so be sure to do so. We're moving into the top 10, though. Listen, we have Jonathan Marchessault at number 10 from the Nashville Predators. We have Thatcher Demko at number 9 from the Vancouver Canucks. We have Rickard Rakell at number 8 from the Pittsburgh Penguins. We have Marco Rossi at 7 from the Minnesota Wild. We have Bowen Byram at 6, and we have JJ Peterka at 5. Those two names have been out there for quite a while now, and listen, they're going to be out there for the whole summer until they get traded. And JJ Peterka, every single team should be on JJ Peterka, because these players don't come available this often, and I don't think Buffalo actually wants to trade him. I think that he really wants to be out of Buffalo at this point. Rasmus Anderson is the number 4 on this list from Calgary. Martin Necas is number 3. Jason Robertson is number 2, and Elias Pettersson is number 1. Yes, the top 5 guys on this list, really top 7 guys on this list. I like, these guys are top end talent in the NHL that are really going to have an effect on, the outcome this year. And yes, Jason Robertson, I just want to talk about Jason Robertson for 1 minute, because Jason Robertson came out in the news yesterday that he was potentially going to be in a trade, or going to be in trade talks this summer. And I would have to say, if Dallas is going to trade Jason Robertson, it would be a massive mistake. We've seen what this guy can do, and we've seen the potential. He's so young, and he's so good already that he's a superstar in the NHL. And if you're going to trade away a superstar like the Colorado Avalanche just did, the team, that you got Mikko Rantanen from, basically, when you got him from Carolina, it's like trading away one of your dogs. And like Nazem Kadri said, I'm going to refer to him, don't trade away the dogs. Like, that's why you just don't do it, because they're really good and they're going to make you pay. Jason Robertson is one of those guys that is really, really good, really young, and he can make you pay. Now, Elias Pettersson, totally different situation. I just think he needs to get out of Vancouver. I think he's still a 100-point player in him, or there is still a 100-point player in him, but I just think it's not in Vancouver. Hopefully he proves me wrong with that if he does end up staying. But I do think, like Elliot Friedman said, the Vancouver Canucks, we'll put it this way. Like Elliot Friedman said, the Vancouver Canucks have known for a while what Elias Pettersson's trade value is, and they simply, I just think, don't like what they've been hearing. If they liked what they heard, I think they would have pulled the trigger on Elias Pettersson before the deadline instead of JT Miller. Listen, I don't think that they liked what they got, or liked what they heard from offers for Elias Pettersson. If they did, I think he'd be the one to go. And I think that at the end of the day, Jim Rutherford was the one that wanted to sign Elias Pettersson to this massive deal. And if he is still contemplating whether or not it's worth it or not, you're not going to get Jim Rutherford to change his mind. And that's something that the Vancouver Canucks, are going to have to work through and work with. But Elias Pettersson, he's the highest paid player on this list. He's probably the most overrated player on this list, and it's going to be interesting to see where he goes this summer, whether or not he goes to a different team, because his no move clause kicks in on July 1st. We have to remember that. And listen, if they don't like what they heard at the trade deadline, I can't imagine that they're going to like what they hear now. So even though he is rumored and he's the top player on this list, I don't know if Elias Pettersson's actually going to be moved, because it comes down to Jim Rutherford and whether or not he wants to move off that contract and probably take a lesser trade return for Elias Pettersson, and that's going to be what it comes down to for the Vancouver Canucks. But yeah, that just about does it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you do, please like, subscribe, comment, and we'll see you next time with the most likely out of this group to be traded. So enjoy.